Exciting news regarding gaming and Star Wars. EA, yeah, I know how you feel about EA, me too. But this is going to be done through Respawn. So there's going to be 3 new Star Wars titles officially in the works from Respawn. And we're going to check out the article right now. By the way, if you want more Star Wars content on the channel in the future, if you want me to play these 3 new Star Wars games down the road, and a few other games that are in the works, remake of KOTOR's out there, as well as Star Wars Eclipse by the same developer as Detroit Become Human. I know there's some controversy revolved around that guy, but I will definitely continue covering Star Wars content on the channel. And if you do, feel free and leave a like. Alright, so this is off of Electronic Arts' official website, EA.com. I will link it below in the description section. Electronic Arts, Lucasfilm Games announced new Star Wars titles from Respawn Entertainment. One of those is obviously the sequel to Jedi Fallen Order, which came out in November 2019. I absolutely love that game and have been excited for a sequel for going on, just over 2 years now. So hopefully a sequel to Fallen Order is right around the corner. Upcoming titles include Next Gen for Star Wars Jedi franchise, new Star Wars FPS from Peter Hirschman, and a strategy game from publishing collaboration between Respawn and Bit Reactor. Electronic Arts and Lucasfilm Games are joining forces to continue delivering all new world-class gaming experiences set within the beloved Star Wars galaxy. Respawn, best known for their work on Apex Legends, Titanfall, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, is leading the development and production on these new projects. Vince Zampella, Group GM and founder of Respawn, will oversee the new phase of EA's relationship with Lucasfilm, building on Respawn's award-winning history in game development, expertise in telling compelling Star Wars stories. Game director Stig Amundsen and his team at the studio are already working on the next gen in the action-adventure Star Wars Jedi series, and are joined by 2 new teams working to deliver additional unique Star Wars gameplay experiences across multiple genres. Leading the development of the Respawn's all-new Star Wars first-person shooter game is Peter Hirschman, game director at Respawn, who has a long and accomplished history with Star Wars franchise. The third title is a Star Wars strategy game developed through a production collaboration with the newly formed studio Bit Reactor, helmed by games industry veteran Greg Forst. Respawn will produce new Star Wars strategy game while Bit Reactor leads the development of the title. Quote unquote, "We are excited to continue working with the superbly talented developers at Respawn," said Douglas Riley, Vice President of Lucasfilm Games. "They have demonstrated excellence in telling epic Star Wars stories along with the best-in-class gameplay across different genres, and we're looking forward to bringing more amazing experiences to a galaxy far, far away." Building on the previous success of our EA relationship, this new collaboration highlights the trust and mutual respect shared between the world-class teams at EA, Respawn, and Lucasfilm Games, said Sean Shoptaw, the SVP at Walt Disney Games. "Fostered by the expertise and passion within each team, we will create thrilling original games for diverse audience across the Star Wars galaxy. Working with the Lucasfilm Games on a new FPS in the Star Wars galaxy is a dream come true for me, and a story I've always wanted to tell," said Peter Hirschman, the game director at Respawn. Peter previously was the VP of Development at LucasArts and the executive producer on the original Star Wars Battlefront games. Hirschman and the team at Respawn have just begun work on the title. Work has already begun on all 3 of these projects, and Respawn is looking for talent to join the teams. Additional information available, job openings can be found at Respawn Careers, which is in this article, so just click on that link if you're interested and you happen to be a developer. Quote unquote, "We are huge fans of Star Wars here at Respawn, and we're thrilled to work with Lucasfilm Games on new titles that we've wanted to make for years," said Zampella. "If you want to make great Star Wars games, you should join us on our journey." Once again, the article from Electronic Arts, EA.com, link below in the description section. So obviously, the first game probably slated to come out by Respawn is the sequel to Jedi Knight Fallen Order, which I did play on the channel over 2 years ago, and I'm definitely going to continue covering that development regarding the sequel, because I'm very excited for that story to continue. When exactly is the sequel to Jedi Fallen Order coming out? We honestly don't know. There hasn't been an official announcement yet or trailer, but we know that they're working on it. And it wouldn't surprise me if it's not too far down the road, because it was over 2 years ago when the first game came out, once again, November 2019. So you could say that the sequel has been probably in development for 2 years now. So maybe this year we'll get an announcement. I don't know if it'll come out later on this year. It's always possible that we might see Jedi Fallen Order sequel by the end of 2022, perhaps in 2023. I guess only time will tell, but either way, I will keep you all up to date regarding any information regarding the sequel to Jedi Fallen Order. Now, let's talk about real quick the other two games that are in the pipeline. The FPS is, in my opinion, probably going to be very similar to Apex Legends because it's been very successful. It really wouldn't surprise me if a lot of the code and programming for Apex Legends was copy-pasted into this Star Wars FPS. That doesn't necessarily mean that it'll be a bad FPS. It could be a great FPS. I know a lot of people are also hoping for a sequel to EA's Battlefront 2, and DICE did turn around Battlefront 2. It had a very bad launch, but over the years, DICE did manage to turn that around. I hope they do the same with Battlefield 2042, because that's in dire straits at the moment. But EA DICE is another great company. I don't know if the Battlefront title has been passed over from DICE to Respawn, so a lot of people are thinking that that might be the possibility regarding Battlefront going to Respawn now, but I don't think that's going to be the case. This is just my speculation here. I could be completely wrong, but I think this will be a completely new FPS, and I think that, once again, they're going to use elements from Apex Legends to build this new Star Wars FPS. So it's probably going to be very, very similar. But once again, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Where this game will be set, perhaps in the original trilogy, somewhere in that ballpark, or maybe it won't really be canon, even though Lucasfilm has tried to make these games connect to the rest of the current Star Wars storyline, from the prequel trilogy to the original trilogy, the sequel trilogy, and now the High Republic. It's very possible that this might be canonized, since that's what they like to do with the Star Wars games going forward, since Disney took over Lucasfilm. Or it could simply be its own thing that employs characters from the prequels, sequels, original trilogy, High Republic, Old Republic, Legends. That would be more fun if they just said, hey, this has nothing to do with the main story of Star Wars, the main timeline. This is just its own bubble. We're just going to have different characters from all the different timelines because video games and FPS fun. Now, the final game I want to talk about is the strategy game being worked on by Bit Reactor. I believe that's the new company that's been formed. And a lot of people are hoping for it to be a long-awaited sequel to Empire at War. Empire at War is still very popular on PC thanks to the modding community. It's still going strong. And I know there's been a push online for there to be a long-awaited sequel to Empire at War. I think that this strategy game might be the best bet for a realized sequel to Empire at War being done through Respawn and Bit Reactor. But it's also possible that the strategy game that Respawn and Bit Reactor are working on is a completely new IP. But it could be influenced and inspired by Empire of War, so that wouldn't be so bad either. But hopefully all three of these games will be awesome. The sequel to Jedi Fallen Order, as well as the Star Wars FPS, as well as this new strategy game being published in collaboration between Respawn and Bit Reactor. Once again, article link below in the description section. Now I want to know what you think about the announcement of these three new titles. Obviously, I think the one that most people are excited about is the sequel to Jedi Fallen Order, because the other two are a mystery. We know a lot less about those two games than we do the sequel to Jedi Fallen Order, and that's not much at all other than it's a sequel. But what would you like to see in the new Star Wars FPS, as well as the new strategy game currently in development? Your thoughts, your views, your opinions, as always, welcome below in the comments section.